Hey guys, what's going on? FGames here. In today's video, I'm gonna do a mage guide for Hypixel Skyblock. I've made a berserker guide and an archer guide already, so if you want to watch those, check them out in the description. I've been requested to do a healer guide, so the next video will be that. Be sure to subscribe if you want to be notified when that video comes out. Without further ado, let's start the guide. Like I've mentioned before in my berserker and archer guide, on the entrance, your gear doesn't really matter. This is because you only need to complete this floor once to move on to floor 1. You can pretty much use the gear you already have. You can use dragon armor, ender armor, glaciite, aspect of the end, raider axe, aspect of the dragons, etc. A great extremely cheap setup for mages is 3/4 zombie soldier armor with dark goggles. Although the zombie soldier armor doesn't come with any base intelligence, when you reforge this to wise or necrotic, you get tons of mana. I suggest getting this armor in the legendary rarity, but you can also use the epic version. This armor does have a catacombs level requirement, so use heavy or rotten armor instead of zombie soldier until you reach enough catacomb experience to use it. While you're getting the catacombs experience to use this armor, you will most likely get it as an armor drop. If you don't have the full set, you can buy the other pieces from the auction. For a better and a more expensive setup, get full wise dragon armor. I suggest buying this already dungeonized with as many stars as possible. This armor does require combat level 16, so if you're only at 15, the minimum requirement for dungeons, just kill some endermen or crypt ghouls until you get to combat 16. This armor is great as it gives tons of mana and effective HP. You could use the dark goggles instead of the wise dragon helmet, but you would lose out on some effective HP and the full set bonus. For the weapon, the best option is the Dreadlord sword. This sword can be dropped from crypt dreadlords or bought off the auction. Be sure to buy one with a decent amount of intelligence and wither skull damage. To use this weapon, just right click and will launch wither skulls dealing a decent bit of damage. This weapon is great for clearing rooms. After completing floor 1, you gain access to the Bonzo staff. The Bonzo staff is like the Dreadlord sword, but better. It can be found in floor 1 dungeon chests or can be bought off the auction. The Bonzo staff launches balloons dealing massive area of damage. I advise getting at least Ultimate Wise 3 on this weapon and reforging it to Heroic. This way you'll be able to spam the ability and deal lots of damage. You can also use the Frozen Scythe, but it is quite a bit more expensive than the Bonzo staff. Be sure to put Ultimate Wise on this as well. You can use the same armor on floor 2 as you used on floor 1. On floor 3, not much changes. You can still use all the gear I have previously mentioned. The only new thing I would recommend is Perfect Armor in tier 10, 11, or 12. Reforged to wise or necrotic. Replace the helmet with the dark goggles or the shadow goggles. You can use this setup on floor 1 and 2 as well. You can also use the adaptive armor, which provides a decent bit of intelligence when reforged to wise or necrotic. Floor 4 is quite a bit more difficult than floor 3, so you may struggle with the zombie soldier armor. Just use any of the other armors I've mentioned in this video and you'll be fine. The wise dragon armor or the perfect tier 10 to 12 with shadow goggles are great options. You can use the Bonzo staff or the Frozen Scythe for the first completion, but after completing this floor, you unlock the Spirit Scepter, which is a great weapon for playing this floor and future ones as well. On floor 5, use the same gear as you did on floor 4, but you can also use the Spirit Scepter since you've completed floor 4 once. On floor 6, you can either use the tier 12 perfect armor with shadow goggles, or if you get a carry, you can use the Necromancer armor. It is recommended to use the shadow goggles instead of the helmet, and if the chestplate is too expensive, you can use the tier 12 perfect chestplate instead. As for the weapon, use either the Spirit Scepter, Yeti sword, or the Midas staff. For the first completion of floor 7, use the same gear you used on floor 6. After completing this floor, you will unlock numerous armor sets. These include the Storm, Goldor, or Maxer armor. Storm is focused on intelligence, Goldor is focused on defense and health, and Maxor is focused on damage and speed. When the Goldor and Maxor armor is reforged to necrotic, it gives lots of intelligence though. It is up to you to which one of these armors you want to use. It's all up to preference. All are viable options. I do recommend replacing the helmets of these armors with the wither goggles though. As for the weapon, you unlock the Hyperion, which is one of the best weapons in the game. This weapon is very effective in master mode as well. The pets I suggest using are the sheep, guardian, black cat, blue whale, or baby yeti. As for the reforges, I suggest necrotic on all of your armor pieces except for the chestplate, which you reforge to loving. If you are in the early floors and don't have much money, you can also use the Wise Reforge. On your weapons, reforging them to Heroic is the best option. This is because it gives the most intelligence out of any weapon reforge. Well, that's the end of the video. The next guide will be a healer guide, so if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe. See you guys next time, bye!